like so many cars, stopped me for this before, they found it in the barn. Hugh did and his son, and they recreated it, put it back together, and they go out to a lot of nostalgia meets, take to the reunions. I know they're up in Seattle a couple of years ago racing up there for the national event for on display. It is a marvelous race car, a great piece of history, and they're proud now to honor here at the Hot Rod Reunion the great Hugh Tucker. Yay. And by the way, because I have a lot of stuff at home, one of the great pictures of the race car, I mean, it's just the way it sits and the way it looks. It's just such a spectacular piece of racing equipment. And when I saw them up with it in Seattle there a couple of years ago, the smile on your face, just having recreated that, got an opportunity to do that with your kid, that had to be so cool.
It was a great experience. I'll have to say that. Flying in the car, it was many years that it was out of our life. And my son, somebody had sent let's go back. The article was written on the blast of the past in National Dragster, and as a result of that, somebody wrote a letter and said, "Hey, we know where that car is." Yeah. So I said, "Well, I'm not really too interested in it, but my son was." And I said, "I know he is. I've had my fun." I gave the information to my son, and about 7 months later, we were at our cabin in Northern California, and he drives in and he says, "Hey, Dad, I want to show you something. Look what I got here." And he pulls out this piece of aluminum, and I said, "Oh my God, it was a hood off of that thing." And he had gone to a tremendous amount of work to find the car, and thankfully he had checked with his mother, said it was okay. He bought it and brought it back into the family because he knew once I saw it I couldn't say no to helping him restore it. So anybody that has a son, that was the best 3.5 years of my life, was restoring that car. And I'm just so thankful for that time.
Isn't that cool? Now tell us a little bit about the initial decision to run the Oldsmobile in, because back then that was an unusual combination.
Well, Oldsmobile Chevrolet. The reason for a Chevrolet, first let's start with a car. Why to have a 28 Chevrolet?
Here comes.
I mean, it wasn't science. It was free. And I was poor. So, and I had, over time, built a 400 cubic inch Oldsmobile, had it in a Ford coupe, sold the coupe, kept the motor, and then accumulated parts, and basically it went together in a kind of like evolution with the help of some friends and car clubs in Oxnard, Ventura area, people throughout. We slowly just had fun, not spending any money on it. And then one day I met a guy I got beat at Indy, my first attempt to try a national event. And with a carbureted Oldsmobile, somebody ran away from me, a supercharged car. So the next year I showed up with a supercharger and said, I don't want to do that again. That was embarrassing. Anyway, we did very well.
To run that car and have the success you did at the Winter Nationals, which back then was like just one of the two pivotal races of the season. Pretty impressive to go back to back.
Well, it was, I don't know, I just think I was dumb luck. I'm not going to say skill or anything. It was a lot of work. I surrounded myself with some great people, and I was on a real rapid learning curve. And anyway, with the help of my old partners, Dave Stoll, Tommy Dawes, John Rasmussen, I was able to master the Oldsmobiles and then the Chryslers, and it was wonderful. And the help of the transmission people. I worked with B&M and went from the old 37 Cadillac LaSalle transmission to the dual range hydromatic, and then went on with other combinations. So it was wonderful.
We talked to one more guy that used to race with the LaSalle transmission on the screen. They were just all over the place, right? I mean, was that free too?
What's it, the LaSalle? I think I paid $10 for it.
And who's here with you tonight, Hugh?
My entire family, my son, my daughter, my grandchildren, a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of fire department. I quit and went into a real safe occupation when I quit racing, and a lot of firemen here tonight.
Retired what, 1996, did you?
1996, yes.
Well, that's cool. Now, when can we see the car again? I would ask Roy where the car is, because you can tell me it's out in the lobby there. So what do you do with the car nowadays?
It's sitting in the lobby.
I want watched my whole career go down the tubes here. It's like,
he did good. I really like that. It normally is sitting in the trailer in the basement in our house at Washington. Right now we're taking it from here. We're going to leave it at the CHRR Museum again. When we first restored it, we left it there from '02 to '03, Winter Nationals to Winter Nationals, where we did the Capitol Fest, and that was 40 years after the big wins. So we'll leave it there maybe until '06 or no, 16, and then we'll get to do another to celebrate the '66 Super Eliminator win.
Well, that is very cool. One of the greats, ladies and gentlemen, Hugh Tucker. Where's his family? Why didn't the family stand up too? Where's everybody at the family? Very cool.